I have always wanted to go to school at Notre Dame.
So, what do you think caused your heterosexuality?
When I first started playing sports, I was probably like 7 or 8. Like played soccer on, like the city leagues and everything. And then when I got up through high school, I switched to tennis, and I played tennis all through middle school and high school. And then when I got here, I started rowing.
When did you first know that you were gay?
Does your roommate know?
Did you tell your parents?
I've long thought about being a priest. I was an altar boy at our home parish in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania, St. Michael's. And I just thought what priesthood was really neat, particularly in the Mass.
Ever since I was 7, the Fighting Irish have been my team. Between the sports and the tradition, the campus and the community, I knew coming here was the right decision.
The best thing that I found about being an RA is I'm living with 40 guys that I wouldn't be friends with, just on a regular basis. We have very different personalities. That's not a good or bad thing, that's just the way it is. I'm dealing with all different types of levels of maturity. I have a guy in my section that very much likes to run around naked. I don't really want to see that.
Is it possible that you just haven't met the right person?
Are you sure it's not just a phase?
Why can't you just be who you are and keep it quiet?
For a while, I wasn't real comfortable here. Like, there's a lot of like big guys, and they're all older than I am, and so because I'm the only senior sculpture major this year, so most of sort of the people I work with are grad students and professors, and so I think I was really intimidated for a while by that, but they've really taken good care of me, especially this year.
Sometime during my freshman year, I realized that I could no longer ignore being attracted to other guys. And I was terrified. With words like gay and faggot being thrown around in the hallway, I guess I didn't think anyone would understand.
I'm just dealing with a lot of different types of guys, and I want to be a teacher, and I want to teach high school education. So one of the best benefits is I've learned that I don't have to get along with I don't have to be friends with everyone to get along with everybody and to be effective. It's not so much about being friends to everyone as just working with them and understanding the relationship that you two share.
Is it possible that your heterosexuality stems from a neurotic fear of others of the same sex?
I just don't understand why heterosexuals place so much emphasis on sex.
It was a good way for me to like make friends and meet people like outside of school. I went to a private school, and there was only 16 people in my class when I was in elementary school, and we were together from preschool to 5th grade. So it was a good way to meet people outside of that small group, and my parents came to all my games and everything, but they weren't like the coaches or anything like that. But
I started to try and meet guys online when my roommate was asleep. I wanted to know what it was like to flirt with someone. Finally, I met another gay Notre Dame student online. He wanted me to meet him in La Fortune, but I decided that it was just too risky.
I was melting wax for my thesis project. My thesis project's got a lot of wax in it. And I had been in the wax room doing this for months, like almost every day for probably 4 months. And my wax just got a little too hot, and basically I turned around and it kind of burst into flames in my face. Set off the fire alarms, the fire department was here. I had blisters all over my lips and my cheek, and I went to the emergency room. It was really awful. I was on Vicodin for 2 days. I basically slept. That was my spring break. Yeah, it was fun.
So just what do men and women do in bed together? How can they even know how to please each other being so anatomically different?
What do you think caused your heterosexuality?
I've been, I guess, officially or self-consciously celibate now for 7 years, and it's a struggle sometimes, but it's more of a joy than a struggle. I think it's a good fit, and I think it's the way that God, I don't know how to put this. It isn't like God would be mad if I were in a relationship, but it feels like a fit with my spiritual life and what God is asking of me. It's nothing I would impose on anyone else. I think celibacy always has to be a choice, but it's a choice I've made with kind of my eyes open, with a lot of self-knowledge, with experience of dating, and so I feel I can make it with a fair amount of confidence.
I had heard about the gay groups on campus, and I wondered if I might find the kind of acceptance there that I craved. But I didn't know where or when they met, and even if I had known, I was too afraid of what people would think.
I don't really enjoy just like laying out on the quad. If I'm going to be outside, I want to be doing something, and sports are a good way to do that. Even if I'm not playing tennis or rowing, I'm going to run or walk around. Like, I'm not one to just sit outside and do nothing.
I walked back from my room, this happened I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, and there's about 30 cones just outside my door, and a 2x4 with 2 shoes on it just sitting outside my door. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand a lot that happens with the men in my section, but I just kind of go with it. They're a great group of guys. They like to have fun with each other, and they really know how to be friends to each other. They like to have a lot of fun, but when something's going wrong, they really back each other up.
You know, it's funny because this is not like this like really well-known art program, and you know, maybe had I known that I was going into art right away, I never would have come to Notre Dame probably. But it's small enough that I got, you know, pretty well incorporated into the social life, and which I think is important in an academic setting. Like I felt comfortable pretty quickly, and I was well taken care of, and I've been able to do the work I want to do. Being the only sculpture senior, you know, I have everybody at my disposal, and they've let me kind of really push my own limits.
I've asked to renew temporary vows for 1 more year, and then if things keep moving along, I would take final vows in about a year and a half. And my hope is I will be ready for a perpetual commitment then. And not just to celibacy, but to poverty too, which is hard, because shopping is fun, and we don't get to do it as much. I've been wearing the same sweater since 1995, so that's a struggle. And obedience is a struggle as well, because it means giving up some control of your life. You have to trust the people who are in authority over you, but I do.
In my 4 years on this campus, I've learned a few things. I know who I am. I know what love truly is. And I know that indifference feels like hate when it dismisses even a small part of your identity.